Let me tell you a story about Maui, the trickster god of Polynesian mythology. This guy's tricks involved literally reshaping the world. I mean, you don't get to be one of the most famous demigods by pulling whoopee cushion stunts, right? Let's set the stage. Maui wasn't just any god. He was a demigod born to human parents. And like any good trickster worth his weight in pranks, he started off as an underdog. His parents didn't even want him at first. Legend has it that his mom, Hina, threw him into the ocean at birth. But don't worry, the ocean gods were like, hey, this kid's got potential, and they took him in, keeping him safe until he could return to his family. Maui wasn't just your average rebellious teen god. He had serious ambitions. One of his first big tricks was that he snagged fire from the underworld to give to humans by tricking his ancestress, Mahuika, the goddess of fire, into giving him her fingernails. Yep, Maui is basically the Polynesian answer to Prometheus. Except instead of being chained to a rock and pecked by an eagle for eternity, he kind of just laughed it off and went on to his next big adventure. But let's get real. Can you imagine the nerve it took to waltz into the underworld and say, "Hi, I'm just here to borrow some fire. Be right back." It takes some serious guts, or maybe just a complete disregard for consequences. But Maui's most iconic trick, that would be the time he literally fished up islands from the bottom of the ocean. You heard that right. One day, Maui and his brothers were out fishing, as one does when you're a demigod with superhuman strength and a magical fishhook. Maui, always the overachiever, decided he was going to catch something more impressive than fish, like, say, a whole island. So he cast his enchanted hook deep into the ocean and, bam, snagged what would eventually become the Hawaiian Islands. And just when his brothers thought they were catching the motherlode of all fish, Maui's like, surprise, it's land. Imagine the look on their faces. Talk about setting unrealistic fishing goals for the rest of us mortals. But, of course, no Maui story is complete without mentioning the time he slowed down the sun. Apparently, the sun was moving too quickly across the sky, which was inconvenient for people who were trying to get their daily chores done. So Maui decided to take matters into his own hands. Literally, he climbed to the top of Haleakala, a massive volcano, because Maui didn't do anything halfway, and lassoed the sun with his magical fishhook, forcing it to slow down. Can you imagine? The sun, the literal giant fiery ball in the sky, being told, "Hey pal, could you just chill for a bit?" And the sun, surprisingly, listened. But Maui wasn't just a mischievous prankster, he was a hero in many ways. His tricks often had a deeper purpose. He wanted to help humanity, even if it meant bending a few cosmic rules along the way. Sure, he stretched the truth here and there, maybe caused a little chaos, but it was all in the name of making life better for everyone else. Now, before you go thinking Maui was invincible, let me tell you about his final trick, one that didn't go so well. Like many demigods, Maui had this small obsession with immortality. After all, what's the point of being a legend if you're not around to bask in it forever? So he decided to try and defeat death by crawling inside the body of the goddess Hine-nui-te-pō, the goddess of death. Spoiler alert, it did not end well. Let's just say she wasn't too keen on the idea, and Maui met an untimely and quite embarrassing end. So, while he accomplished a lot in life, Maui was still mortal in the end. And that's Maui for you. A trickster, a hero, and a demigod who played by his own rules, whether it was slowing down the sun, pulling islands from the sea, or stealing fire for humanity. Maui's legendary tricks still echo in stories today. Honestly, with all the pranks he pulled, it's a miracle we're not still looking over our shoulders waiting for his next one. Alright, if Maui can fish up islands with a magic hook, I'm sure you can manage to click subscribe. Don't worry, no trickster gods involved, unless you count me keeping you hooked on mythology.